Have you ever looked at a work of art and felt like you were staring into a dream? This incredible cityscape, for example. At first glance, you might not even be sure what place this is. To some, it looks a lot like St. Petersburg. On the right, there's a building that strongly resembles the Hermitage. In front of it, a majestic column stands, similar to the Alexander column. And a bit lower on the steps, there's a rostral column decorated with the prows of ships, a perfect match for the one in St. Petersburg. Closer to us, there's an Egyptian stela, and at its base, 4 figures of Moors are chained. You can see similar statues in St. Petersburg, near one of its own stelas, and right next to them, an equestrian monument. It all gives you the strange feeling that you're looking at some fantasy version of St. Petersburg from a parallel universe. A city that could have been, but never was. But here's the twist. This isn't St. Petersburg at all. This is Rome. Or, more accurately, an imaginary Rome. Created in 1743 by the brilliant Italian artist and architect Giovanni Battista Piranesi. This specific work is from his famous album, first part of architectural and perspective engravings, and it's titled The Ancient Capital. Official historians tell us that Piranesi simply gathered different monuments scattered throughout Italy and combined them into a single drawing, creating an architectural fantasy. They say it's not a real place, but a fiction, a product of a genius's imagination. And maybe that's true. Maybe Piranesi was just a very talented fantasist. But his drawings are striking, not just for their incredible detail, but also for their strange, obsessive logic. Why do the same motifs appear over and over again in his work? The 4 chained Moors, an equestrian monument, rostral columns, triumphal arches, Egyptian obelisks, and vases. We find all of these elements in the real Rome and the real St. Petersburg. But in Piranesi's work, they're all gathered in one place that we're told never officially existed. Official history calls this a capriccio, an architectural fantasy. But if it's just a fabrication, why do we find the same strange, repeating details in his engravings and in reality in different cities around the world? It's as if the artist left us an encrypted code. These aren't just random details. They feel like a system of symbols, and the key to understanding them seems to have been long lost. Again and again in his engravings, we see those 4 powerful figures of Moors chained to the base of an Egyptian obelisk. Who are they? Captives? Guardians? Or an allegory for conquered peoples? Next to them, a monumental equestrian statue almost always appears, frozen in motion, an eternal symbol of power and triumph. Majestic, triumphal arches covered in intricate carvings and rostral columns that look like beacons of a vanished maritime empire, complete this picture. These elements wander from one engraving to the next, creating not just a series of works, but a single narratival language we've forgotten how to understand. And here's the most astonishing part. This symbolic language, ice and tea, confined to Piranesi's art. We see these same objects in the real world, in the grand squares and boulevards of Rome and St. Petersburg. They stand as silent witnesses to a history that might be far more complex and interconnected than we think. So, was Piranesi just an artist with a vivid imagination? Or was he a chronicler of a forgotten reality? Was he simply creating beautiful fantasies? Or was he trying to preserve the memory of a unified ancient civilization that once spanned the globe? His work forces us to question what we think we know about our own past. Perhaps the answer isn't so simple. Maybe Piranesi was both a fantasist and a historian, blurring the lines between what was and what could have been. His art serves as a powerful reminder that history is not always a straightforward story, and that sometimes the greatest truths are hidden within the most fantastic dreams. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more mysteries from the world of art.